Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our program. I would like to greet everyone a beautiful morning, and may the Lord be with us today in our program of Mornings with God. Thank you as well, Sister Christina, for the beautiful musical piece, Make Me a Blessing. This morning's topic is entitled Faithful in Small Things. And I would like to read once again the Bible verse that we have for our message, which is found in 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 3. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 3. And it reads, She said to her mistress, If only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of leprosy. Such beautiful history that is recorded in this chapter. In the 2 Kings chapter 5, we meet Naaman. Naaman was a powerful Syrian commander under King Ben-Hadad that was around a 450 to 445 BC, no, 800, around 850 to 840 BC. King Ben-Hadad was the king of Syria at that time. And during that time as well, Israel's king were Ahab and Jehoram, but King Ahab was killed by King Ben-Hadad. So at this time, Naaman was also the captain of the Syrian army. He was a very powerful captain that they were able to subdue Israel at this time. They made a lot of military raids and they become successful in the Bible verse. The next Bible verses of 2 Kings chapter 5, we saw that God gave victory to Syria, at that time. And it was Captain Naaman who was the captain of the Syrian army. He was very strong, like what I said, and powerful, a captain of the Syrian army. But he has a problem. He has a sickness, and that is leprosy. In one of the military raids that they have against Israel, they captured a little maid, which Captain Naaman brought with him to his household and became their maid. And during the time that Captain Naaman had some sickness, which is leprosy, that little maid, which he took from one of the military raids that they have in Israel, told him something. Just a very few words that the little maid told them at that time related to his sickness. And we can read the words of the little maid to the mistress of Captain Naaman, where she said, if only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, in Israel, he would cure him of his leprosy. Such a very short. In And the Spirit of Prophecy in the book Royalty and Ruin is a compilation of books, and most of these books were taken from Patriarchs and Prophets. In page 91, it says, Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Syria, was great and honorable man in the eyes of his master, because by him the Lord given victory to Syria. He was also a mighty man of valor, but a leper. Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, had defeated Israel in the battle that resulted in Ahab's death. Since that time, the Syrian had maintained a constant border warfare against Israel. In one of their raids, they had carried away a little maid who, in the land of her captivity, waited on Naaman's wife. A slave far from her home, this little captive was one of God's witnesses, fulfilling the purpose for which God had chosen Israel as his people. In that hidden home, her sympathies were aroused in behalf of her master, and remembering the wonderful miracles of healing that God had performed through Elisha, she said to her mistress, "If only my master were with the prophet who is in Samaria, for he would heal him of his leprosy." She believed that by the power of heaven, Naaman could be healed. Such a beautiful story. This little maid that was once carried by Captain Naaman towards Syria in one of their military raids, brought to him such a beautiful suggestion, I would say, that leads to wonderful thing that happened into the life of Captain Naaman. She just said, "If only my master were with the prophet who is in Samaria, he would heal him of his leprosy." Her suggestion was simple, very, very simple. Very, very simple. Go to Samaria. That's it. See the prophet. And that prophet will heal my master. Just one sentence may be her words towards her master. Yet it was enough to trigger a chain of events that would lead to Naaman's healing and ultimately his spiritual transformation. Naaman, at the same time, heard what the maid had said to her mistress. After getting permission from the king, he went in search of healing, taking with him and his servants 10 talents of silver. You can read that in 2 Kings chapter 5. 6,000 shekels of gold and 10 changes of clothing. He prepared some offering to the king of Israel and asked the king of Israel through the letter that was sent by the king of Syria, Ben-Hadad, asking the king of Israel to help his servant to find healing through the prophet in Israel. The letter said from the king of Syria, "I have sent Naaman to you, my servant to you, that you may heal him of his leprosy." You see, little maid made a short suggestion with strong faith in God that the prophet of the Lord will heal her master from leprosy. made a big change in the life of the Syrian military captain. She was not even recognized as, a person worthy to be, to believe, because she is a servant. She was just carried to Syria in one of the military raids that Captain Naaman did against Israel. She might have some bitter feeling against Syrians. She might just say, okay, it might be better for you to die because you defeated us. You raid us in Israel. That is, it's good for you. But she did not do that. Instead, she made a very short suggestion. If only my master can see the prophet who is in Israel, he would be cured of his leprosy. With faith in God that the prophet of Israel, who is the prophet of God, can bestow his power of healing to someone who asks him, may the whole thing change. Brethren, God often works through small and notice acts of faithfulness. The young servant girl in Naaman's household could have remained silent, like what I said. She could have remained silent with all the bitterness in her heart, or be feeling indifferent towards the Syrian captain because she's an Israelite. But her simple act of faith and courage became the spark that leads Naaman's healing and spiritual transformation. Being faithful in small things positions us for a greater impact. I was thinking of what this little maid done towards her master. Many of us, especially when we are in the place unfamiliar to us, we felt indifferent. We felt, I just need to be silent. I don't need to say anything because I am not, I'm not recognized here. I only have small idea. I only have small talents. I just need to be silent. And I understand that's a feeling of many. Sometimes when we are new to the place, new to the country, unfamiliar yet with their cultures and etc., we became intimidated and just decided to be silent when we knew that we can do something to bring the message of God to the people around us. That's pretty common for humans. When we felt that we are inferior against others, we just decide to be silent. Sometimes because, we are a very few compared to the numbers of those who do not know the truth. We just think, oh, there are many. I will just be silent. I will not tell them about God or whatever because they might be professor, they might be, intelligent more than me. I just need to be silent. But this little maid did the opposite. She talked to the mistress of her master. If only my master will see the king, at the prophet in Israel, he would be cured. There are many lessons that can be learned from this history and encounter of the little maid. And I would like to cite some lessons, few lessons from this beautiful story. First, God uses the overlooked. The servant girl was foreign, captive, young, and seemingly insignificant. Like what I said, she's nothing in the house of Captain Naaman. Yet she played a pivotal role in God's plan by simply speaking up. She changed the whole thing. She changed the whole course in the situation of Captain Naaman by just speaking few words of suggestion towards her master. In our life, brethren, whatever our background is, doesn't disqualify us from being used by God. We just need to be faithful wherever we are. Just speak up the truth, regardless if people will appreciate that or not. Just do it. Our few words might change someone's life. Our few suggestions might change their mind and bring them closer to God. Because in many times, God uses the overlooked. God does not always use those who are prominent, those who are known people in the history. Now, sometimes God uses, and in many times, God uses the overlooked to carry out the message, the work that he wanted to be spread into all the world before his second coming. Be faithful. Do not think that because I have nothing, I am disqualified to do the work of the Lord. No. Everyone has a place in the work of God, no matter how simple we are. We can be like this little maid. Second lesson that we can learn from that encounter. Small words can lead to big changes. Small words can lead to big changes. Her statement to Naaman's wife was short and simple, but full of faith. Very simple. Just imagine, if only she did not force her master to go. If only. But such word, full of faith, changes the whole thing. It leads to Naaman's journey, his healing, and his ultimate acknowledgement of a true God. Just imagine that. Read 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 15. After Naaman obtained the healing, because he, despite at the beginning, when he heard about go to a muddy river, bath there 7 times, and would be healed, he was thinking, are there not more clean river in that place that I may just go there and cleanse myself? But we know the story. His servants also was with him at that time, convince him, why would you not follow the words of the prophet? And so he was convinced and do what the prophet said. He was healed. And after that healing, it changes the life of Naaman. He acknowledged that there is a true God in Israel, that there is a true God in heaven who can do things that other cannot do. Small words can lead to big changes. Do not underestimate, my brother, the power of a word spoken in faith. When we speak to people, it is with faith. It's not a boastful speaking, but it is with faith that the God whom we believe will do it for them. Just this week, I had a missionary trip to the island, met a person there. We talked, we had a Bible study. He had some worries. He had some worries in himself as being new to the country. I told him, my brother, the Lord who delivered the Israelites from the hand of Pharaoh is still the same God that we have today. Just believe, and God will do it for you. Small words can make big changes if these words were spoken with faith. Number 3 lesson, faithfulness doesn't need a platform. She had no audience, she had no followers, no recognition, but her faith spoke volumes. She doesn't have any, like, something in herself that is, worthy to be heard of. She just said it in faith. But her words spoke volumes. God doesn't need us to be on the top so he can use us now. He just needs our willingness to work. He can do wonderful things through us if we surrender ourselves to God. If we have that faith, like the little maid, God can work through us. Be faithful, brethren, even on those times that you are not recognized, those times that you feel there is nothing in you. Just be faithful in private, in quiet places of life, and your faithfulness will speak volumes to the people around you. And another lesson, courage in humble circumstances. Courage in humble circumstances. She spoke up to the wife of a powerful commander, possibly risking punishment. Yes, she could risk her life by speaking up. Because, back in the day, these prominent people do not listen to, common people, especially a servant. I remember also Easter, in the book of Easter. It was not her time to appear into the king. But because of the pleading of the Jewish people in Susan, she approached the king and she said, if I perish, I perish. Speak up, brethren. Do not worry, do not fear about maybe they will hate me and will punish me and do something, bad things against me. Do not worry. This little maid spake into the wife of a powerful commander. Her courage in a lowly position shows through faith. You speak up, and that changes the whole thing. Courage and faith are not about position. They are about obedience. The Lord calls for us to do things for Him, especially in these last days. We claim to be the people who knew the truth. We claim to be the people who had the message for the whole world. in these last days. We have the present truth in our hand. The question is, are you willing to have that courage from God to speak up against the powerful people in this world? Do you have the courage to tell the people of the truth that we have? That might change their lives. That might lead them to acknowledge that there is a God of heaven who is working over this planet and in the universe. Courage and faith, like what I said, is not about position. Do not wait until you have position, you have something in you that might be worthy of recognition to the world, and then you started to speak up. No, brethren, you have to speak up. We have to speak up. Even in the humblest form, we can do that. Just do it with faith. Do not be intimidated by this world. We have a work to do. We are comparably small in numbers compared to the billions of people surrounding us. The question is, are we being faithful in our current situation, even if we feel small and insignificant? Do you feel that, brethren, in your heart that we are small and insignificant? Just imagine in the whole of Canada, how many reformers are there and how many people are here in Canada. In the whole world, how many members in God's church and how many people are surrounding us? We might feel small, insignificant to them, but we have the words of life. We need to speak up, brethren. Do you speak also life and faith, even when your voice seems small? That's a challenge, brethren. And how can we reflect God's love in everyday actions and conversation? Just like the little servant in Naaman's household, our acts of small obedience, kindness, and faith can trigger miraculous outcomes. Let us trust in the Lord. Let us trust in the Lord. In the book Christ Subject Lessons, no matter how small the talent you have, use it for the Lord. Talent uses talent multiplied. Let us use, let us stand, let us speak faith to the people. Let us learn lesson from the little maid and a little servant, where she said, if only my master would see the prophet, he would be healed. Let's bring that good news to the people around us, brethren, and may the Lord help us. Be faithful in small things. Your small suggestion, your short words of faith towards the people might bring big things into their lives, even their spiritual transformation. Is my wish and prayer in the name of Jesus. Amen.